Hi, just want to run you through our crawl stage or performance-based influencer marketing stage. This is something that we leverage quite a bit in Japan and across Asia in general. The performance-based influencer marketing, is really great for direct-to-consumer and e-commerce. They provide metrics that impact the business that we can track. There's low upfront costs, and most of the time we're paying out a profit, so that's very helpful. And there's a path towards scale here. So I think these are really the major benefits that we're looking for, right? So um, how would you do this? We want to reward creators for delivering results. You can see this population of Japan. This is just on or the internet overall and social media. You've got almost 80 million active social media users. This is a huge chunk of the society. Um, so we want to build out these brand ambassador programs to help local people that understand the culture way more than we could possibly do that deliver the value proposition to your brand or for your brand to the market. So we use this. We can track results using coupon codes and trackable links, and we want to compensate the creators based on these tracked results. So how do we search for influencers? So let's take a look at an example of a brand's target audience data and how we would select influencers to reach out to. We start by looking at the age, location, and gender of their social media followings for social and website traffic, and then see if we test that same audience in Japan and see if it works. So you can see here, this is social. Social, they've got 18 to 24 and 25 to 34 is the vast majority. In London, this is UK brand, so you can see that the majority of the audience is in London and major cities in the UK. So we'd be testing Tokyo and other major cities as well. You can see the gender split on social following, 98 to 2. And then there's a little bit of a difference here in the website traffic, right? So we can see 25 to 34 is still the strong majority, but there's a slightly higher percentage of traffic in that 34 to 44 range. This is fairly normal. We call this the reverse waterfall effect with influencers. So in general, people see them as younger than they are, and they're striving to kind of stay in that lower age bracket. Older traffic is generally more valuable. They have more money and they purchase more products. And then another difference, as you can see with regards to gender, we went for 2% followers on social media to 14%, 14.5% of the web traffic. What it says to me is that there are, men going to the website probably to purchase products for women in their lives. Not so helpful when we're looking for social media influencers, but when we're ready for paid traffic in stage 3, we would definitely be testing male audiences as well. All right, so how do we find these influencers? I'm going to bring you to our the tool that we use. So we use these different programs to track social media influencers, and and then their audiences as well. So this is really one of the big differentiators for us in our programs is we're able to find the influencers. We want to stay in Japan. And then normally we start off with, let's just do, we'll do 10,000 to, let's do 75,000. We could go up to 80, 100,000, but that's fine. Now again, this is the influencer. So I'm not so specific on what their gender is, their interest, or anything like this right now. We will want to keep that engagement rate, I'd say between 2 to 5%. So let's just keep it here. And then let's look at the audience. So the audience, we want to say, okay, our audience is in, let's say Tokyo, right? So that's a major city. This is going to be our big focus. Let's see. We saw that the followers were mostly female, so we'll stick with female. And then the age, right? So we knew it was 18 to 24, but then also 24 to 35 is probably where we want to be. We might as well add this in. We can always dial that back, but this is probably going to be, or we can even get rid of these, right? So we know that we want the followers on social. Maybe there are going to be a lot more followers in this 18 to 24 range, but are they the ones with the money that are going to be spending on products? Not necessarily. So maybe we'll just start off here a little bit tighter. And then fake followers, we want this under 25% in general. Interest, we will skip that for now, but I do want to think, let's stay with Japanese. Okay. So you can see here we have 1,000 plus influencers. So maybe we can tighten this up somehow. Maybe we want to go a little bit lower. That's all 1,000 plus. Okay, anyway. So let's take a look at kind of what these results are. All right, so then we can see there were about 2,000 influencers found. So you can see there's plenty of potential influencers for us to reach out to over time. Um, and then let's take a look at some of these. So these are usually ranked by total follower range, so about 50,000 here. And then we can look at their engagement rates. So let's take a look. So this one is a Mitsubishi museum. Probably not going to be the most good fit for this. A dog's life thing. Probably, if we were selling CBD for pets, great. Cinnabon Japan, probably not a perfect target market for us. But what we could do is let's take a look at her. Let's see what Nana looks like. So we pull up Nana's page, and oops, this is her Instagram account. You can see she's what her page looks like. Does this fit with our aesthetics? Looks like she's kind of more of a makeup influencer or something like that. Could be potentially interesting. This is a skincare brand. All right, so let's look at her profile on the actual account here and see what she looks like in total. So we can send all this information. You can see when she was last updated, February 14th. She gets an average of 2,100 likes on her posts. She's got this followers rate. Her engagement rate is pretty high, 4.5%. This is something we do see in Japan, is it does tend to be a higher percentage of engagement. She's got about 24% fake followers. Again, this is not necessarily her fault. Bot traffic does do this, and it adds automatically. This was a bigger problem in China than this, but this is, right on the edge of what would be acceptable. Again, the proof's in the pudding. Can she drive traffic, connect, traffic, convert? That's really all we care about at the end of the day. So you can see location by country. It's Japan, 91%, perfect, just what we're looking for. The gender split, 8% male, 92% female, perfect, right in line with what we're looking for. And then the location by city. So we have Tokyo as the major percentage, 35%, which is pretty good, and then Osaka. So we're getting a good concentration of where we want to be, Tokyo, but then also probably some other cities, major cities in Japan. We can dive into that as well a little bit more. And then here, her average age and gender split, right? So it's about, what is that? About 90% in that 18 to 24 or 18 to 34 range, right? So it really drops off after that. So she would be one of the influencers that would influence this potential market. And so this one is probably something good. The other interesting thing we could do is pull, once we find an audience that we really like, then we can pull other influencers that have similar lookalike audiences. This is super valuable as well. Then you can see what her audience interests are as well. Beauty and cosmetics, all these. We can see what her most popular hashtags are. Maybe she's already doing some other products. You can see eyelash. Some of these other accounts, I'm not sure what this trifle is, but you can see if they're doing any other postings for other brands. Then we can take a look at what her most popular posts are. Again, and this is really helpful because a lot of times we jam quote unquote units of engagement, but what we really want to see is there a conversation going on? Is there a real legitimate engagement and not just likes? So yes, 8,800 likes, 36 comments, 7,300 likes, 47 comments. So then we can dive in there and actually look at what that conversation is like. So again, super valuable here. Let's take another look at somebody else. How about Kokai? See what her profile looks like. Again, doesn't have an email address or anything available, but we can pull up information here. She gets an average of 5,600 likes, 4,700 followers. Wow, 11.5% engagement rate. Super, super valuable here. Right at that edge, again, of fake followers. Not super concerned about that. It's a little more bit of a split with male and female. Not too concerned with that. We still have this pretty high female leaning rate. Location by country, again, 93% Japan, great. 30% Tokyo, great. All of what we're really looking for. Does tend to lean quite a bit younger, so this wouldn't be perfect for us because it's 41% of her followers are in that 18 to 24-year-old female range. So it's a little bit high in terms of we'd like to see this flipped. Don't have any data on lookalikes, but you can see kind of what her posts are like, posting official restaurant stores and things like this, and magazines and things. So that you can also again see what her most popular posts are. It looks like it's kind of like a cosplay thing. And that's the other thing too, is like with influencers, you have to think about why are they famous? Is it a visual thing? Is somebody likely going to take advice from this person on what to buy for overall cardiovascular health? Probably not. But if it's makeup, if it's skincare, if it's something like this, then yeah, I think we have a pretty good chance. So this is just kind of the general stuff overall here. I just want to give you an idea of how we pick these partners. So back to the presentation here a little bit. All right, so moving on after we've picked them. So the next thing is to start thinking about how we're going to recruit these influencers, right? So again, we're using micro influencers in that 10 to 100,000 range. And we really want to get dialed in with who we're reaching out to. These aren't professional influencers, so it does require a lot of manual work. So we're going to be recruiting affiliates and influencers. We send 4 to 5 emails, drip out over 2 weeks in order to connect, track the open rates for these emails. Our initial pitch is always focusing on excitement, and then we follow up with details later. These highly engaged influencer audiences are gold to kind of deliver that value proposition to your audience. So the other thing to remember, though, is that they're not professional. So you do have to do some chasing. This is where we really leverage automation. Chase them to get into the affiliate program. We want to chase them to create content, chase them to stay on schedule. But the ROI at the end of the day makes it all worth it. It's incredibly important to send at least 5 follow-ups after that initial email. We also do multi-channel outreach and really try to get people into the program. You can see here from this GrowBots outreach study that sending less than 8 follow-ups might leave an opportunity on the table. Once we get down to here, we don't really want to do it. But again, if this is automated drip messaging, as long as we're not getting, this big deal of annoying, right? So it wasn't, this GrowthBot study showed that until the 6th follow-up, that negative sentiment became significant. So that's where we put the kibosh on it and stop it there. So sending 5 emails in the initial outreach, then we would take a 6-month pause, and then we reach out again. Again, this stuff is going to be automated and managed internally. So making deals with affiliates, we really want to create this kind of partnership feeling, right? But at the end of the day, they're going to want to get compensated. So we want to have strong payments, strong incentives, give them creative freedom, make sure we pay them monthly, and make that affiliate program onboarding, all that stuff very, very easy. Incentivize these long-term partnerships. We want to give them milestones to work for. Hey, you just converted your 100th customer. Here's a $500 bonus, right? And I think, again, to keep in mind, we want to, in this type of market in Japan and in CBD and this early stuff, we really want to incentivize them to do a great job of building our brand. Do we do contracts? Yes. When we partner, we generate content about us, and we want to make sure that we have in the contract, we're able to repurpose it. Again, this is very, very straightforward things. And then kind of looking at plenty of creative ways to reward these top affiliates. We want to offer various commission levels, again, depending on the number of sales that they're driving, the conversion rate of their traffic. Again, give a bonus each month to the best performing affiliate. If you have the budget there, maybe a trip or something like that, I guess that's probably not something that's going to work now. But again, constantly kind of showing your affiliates how much you appreciate their efforts. These people are going to be way better at building your brand than distributors or wholesalers. And then they can go out and recruit similar affiliates, right? And that's really something that we see being very kind of beneficial as well. All right, what do we want to pay the creators? We want to make sure that we're offering competitive commissions. Sorry about that. We want to offer a percentage of the share of the profits or just a percentage of the MSRP. I'd say somewhere between 10 and 30%. I know that sounds aggressive, but there's really, there's a lot of benefit here to bring on this. You can see, the most popular profiles in Instagram in Japan, celebrities and influencers make up 80% of that population, right? So it is very important to have a strong presence here. You can decide between a fixed commission and a percentage rate. And then, we can also take a look at your competitors' rates in that market and kind of see where we should be. But again, at the end of the day, you really want to determine the maximum you could afford, right? This is going to be the easiest way to grab up market share and build a presence. I really do believe that, these partners are going to be way better than building your brand than the retailers and wholesalers, and they're not taking 50%. So that's something that's really important. What do we want to give the audience? A flat discount is the best way to go. We want to keep that MSRP high, give them free delivery, give them an extra gift. Again, I think especially with CBD, if the products are effective, we want to get as much as possible into people's hands. So whatever we can do to kind of bump that up in terms of what the perceived value is, it's great. So how do we create an affiliate-friendly program? We really want to use a widget, a plugin to build out these affiliate programs. We want to find one of these all-in-one affiliate management programs that offer everything you kind of reasonably need. We want to have tracking, stat tracking, payment integration. Again, it has to be very easy. One, for your customers to accept Japanese yen, or for your customers to pay with Japanese yen credit cards for CBD products, process those fees, and get the affiliates paid out in local currency as well. Um, Want to have, again, customized. We can configure options, give people, once they hit a certain level, we put them in a specific category, their commission increases. All of this stuff will be tracked, and there's a lot of value in this too, right? We want to look like, if we're recruiting the influencers, the affiliates, and the program looks confusing and it's not clear who's tracking what, if we can provide them with stats and data and numbers, and use a third-party app to track that stuff, it just gives a bunch of confidence. It takes that worry, that concern out of it. So this is kind of why we leverage a lot of these as well. So how do we support these partners? This could include anything: guides, ebooks, videos. This does sound like a lot of work, but again, we want to arm them with as much as possible. They can use that stuff to create content around. We can always just go directly with use the product and tell us how it feels. And then, using something like a program like Google Analytics, we want to be driving that traffic, tracking it, and seeing how it goes. That way we can kind of discover information. Hey, what are the affinity categories? What are the interests and behaviors, and how are we gonna, what are the in-market segments, purchase product, interest, all these things that we can build in further and continue to evolve this stuff. And all of that data that we're gathering via these influencers and affiliates, that preps us for the second stage, which is walk, which is leveraging SEO, and building out the programs that are going to let us send automated messaging, right? We want to build those segments, see what people want to, content they're most interested in, and how does that all kind of filter down. We want to also promote customer to affiliate success stories, right? The best affiliates are customers who swear by your products, for sure. People who genuinely believe in it and are passionate about these products are going to produce authentic, quality content. And this is definitely something, again, we want to leverage. So again, equipping the affiliates with the relevant tools is necessary, but we really want to give them the ability to, whether it's templates, links, banner ads, kind of display things, sales copy templates, we can help build that out for them as well. So we just kind of, again, make it as easy as possible. And then finally, kind of how are we going to track and measure these influencer marketing campaigns? We want to be doing this constantly. We want to follow the 80-20 rule for creators and conversions, try to figure out what the commonality in that 20% is going to be, and then find more like that. Again, having the lookalike audiences. Once we are able to dial in with those influencers, and then we can find people that have similar followings, then we can go out and reach out to them as well. And again, tracking the influencer marketing attribution by leveraging custom URLs. Very easy to do and track all the traffic that they're driving to us and how that traffic converts. And then again, if we have a lot of influencers that are not creating content consistently and not driving traffic that converts, we can always remove them from that program. But again, we found by asking our influencers to provide periodic reports on what the engagement they're seeing is, we get a better qualitative feel for whether the influencer is making the right choice for the campaign and if this campaign is making headway. Again, this is a test and optimize strategy. But again, by doing performance-based influencers marketing with a lot of smaller influencers, you don't necessarily have those same high upfront costs. It does require somebody to manually go and do a lot of this work. We're able to optimize as much as possible, but there is a lot of manual outreach and kind of talent management. So again, this is the best way to kind of get started without throwing a ton of money at it. It helps us solve a lot of problems with CBD and lack of being able to do advertising and things like that. So this really does feel like the easiest, kind of strongest way to get up and running with the direct-to-consumer e-commerce in Japan. So yeah, happy to follow up and discuss any questions you might have. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.